are next. You break my record, now I break you. Like I break your friend.
Born in 1946 in Guangzhou, China, Bolo Yeung is one of the most iconic physical villains of the martial arts and VHS-era action cinema. He began as a competitive bodybuilder, winning multiple titles in Hong Kong before transitioning into film in the early 1970s. Before becoming a familiar face on Western B-movie villainy, Yeung built a long career in Asian cinema, appearing in dozens of Hong Kong productions throughout the 1970s and 1980s, many of them for Shaw Brothers and Golden Harvest. After breaking out internationally as a henchman in Enter the Dragon, he became a regular presence in martial arts and bruceploitation films before slowly crossing over into Western productions. His global cult status was sealed with Bloodsport, which turned him into the definite silent heavy of the VHS era. From there, Yeung leaned fully into that image, showing up as villains, enforcers and masters in films like Double Impact, Tiger Claws or Shootfighter. While Western audiences mostly remember the B-movie years, his filmography is rooted in a much broader Asian martial arts tradition that shaped everything that came after. Enter the Dragon was Bruce Lee's final completed film and a landmark in American Hong Kong co-production, released just days after his death. Made on a tiny budget, it went on to become the most successful martial arts film ever, blending kung fu with spy movie style and a touch of blaxploitation edge. Today, it's widely considered one of the greatest martial arts films of all time and is preserved in the US National Film Registry. Yeung appeared as the henchman Bolo, a role that catapulted him into international fame. The film received mixed reviews at first, but was quickly reappraised and now is widely seen as one of the best films of 1973. Critics often described it as a kung fu take on James Bond, with Bruce Lee completely stealing the show as both a fighter and a screen presence. Released by Canon Films in 1988, Bloodsport was panned by critics but became a massive hit, pulling in around $50 million on a tiny budget. It helped kick off a new wave of martial arts movies in the US, influenced early MMA culture, and grew into a full-blown cult classic with multiple sequels. It was also Jean-Claude Van Damme's first real breakout and the film that permanently etched Bolo Yeung into villain history as Chong Li.
Very good. But break, not hit back.
There is no denying how influential this film was, not just for martial arts cinema, but for VHS rental shelves everywhere in the late 80s. It has everything: East versus West vibes, a painfully dull love interest, oiled-up physics, and unforgettable theatrical stare-downs, nods, smirks and reactions doing half the storytelling. And of course, the Van Damme vs Bolo fight is still an absolute blast to watch. Double Impact is pure early 90s Van Damme fun. Twins, accents, mullets, and roundhouse kicks cranked up to 11 is the kind of movie where GCVD fights crime, his enemies, his own acting choices, and even finds the time to lead a very enthusiastic fitness session, and somehow it all works. Bolo Yeung plays Moon, the intimidating top henchman, where his presence and sheer physicality do most of the heavy lifting, plus a few of those classic death stare close-ups. And of course, we get another GCVD vs Yeung showdown, which is always a fun watch. Breathing Fire fits perfectly into the 90s, but watching it today feels pretty strange. It's an odd film, featuring a cross-dressing Bolo, keys baked into pizzas. Honestly, I couldn't really explain what's going on, you just have to go with the flow. It also features KV Kwon post Indiana Jones and the Goonies, still very young here, which only adds to the film's weird charm. Shootfighter Fight to the Death is basically Bloodsport filtered through early 90s VHS grit. Underground fights, stone serious faces, and plenty of tough guy energy. Bolo Yeung appears as Shingo, not a villain this time, but a mentor figure guiding the protagonist on his road to victory. One fun twist is seeing Michael Cove and William Zabka together, a rare Karate Kid reunion that adds extra genre appeal. And as always, Bolo doesn't need much screen time. One look from him and you instantly know what kind of movie you're watching. The sequel followed in 1996, bringing back both Bolo Yeung and Zabka. The action is solid, but Bolo's final fight is the real highlight. He's the master here, and watching his style in motion is pure genre pleasure. Tiger Claws is another classic early 90s martial arts thriller, mixing police procedural vibes with full-on kung fu action. Bolo Yeung plays a serial killer who hunts martial arts masters using tiger-style kung fu, while Cynthia Rothrock and Jalal Merhi try to track him down. It's very much a VHS-era curiosity. The tiger claw gimmick itself is memorable, the fights are solid, and Bolo's presence gives the whole thing real weight.
Me and you, we are the same.
Tiger Claws 2 doubles down on the VHS-era formula, bringing back Jalal Merhi, Cynthia Rothrock and Bolo Yeung for another round of old-school martial arts action. This time Bolo shifts more into a master figure, letting his presence and technique do the talking rather than playing a straight slasher-style villain. It's rough around the edges, but if you're into 90s video store kung fu with a bit of supernatural flavor mixed in, it delivers exactly what you would expect. By the way, most of these straight-to-VHS gems are actually available on YouTube or other free platforms. Just look for them. The picture quality isn't always great, but let's be honest, that's not why we watch these movies anyway. 2007's Blizzny Boy The Ultimate Fighter is one of Bolo Yeung's later appearances, with him returning to familiar territory as an imposing villain, complete with a creepy milky eye. The film boasts an impressively stacked B-movie cast, including Gary Busey, David Carradine, Eric Roberts and Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa. Definitely a B-movie, but a watchable one, and even fun at times. His final film appearance came in The Whole World at Our Feet from 2015, a real curiosity that feels like an entire VHS rental shelf collapsed into a single movie, featuring names like Armand Assante, Don the Dragon Wilson, Tiny Lister, Peter O'Toole, Michael Madsen and Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, among many others. With a lineup like that, you would expect at least some guilty pleasure fun, but unfortunately there is not much to recommend here. In the end, Bolo Yeung is one of those rare genre figures who understood exactly who he was on screen and never tried to fight it. Long before fitness influencers, he was already a diet and training legend, known for punishing routines and protein-heavy discipline that shaped his larger-than-life presence. With Bruce Lee's personal encouragement early on, he found his way into the Hong Kong film industry and learned that sometimes saying less is far more powerful. His silence, his stare, and his physical certainty became his signature. He never became a traditional Hollywood star, but Bloodsport made him immortal on VHS shelves around the world, especially in the US and Europe, where these tapes were rented, rewound and worn out. Instead of chasing leading man roles, Yeung made a smart career move by leaning fully into what worked, and that's why decades later, he's still not just remembered as a villain, but the villain of an entire era. If I missed your favorite role, let me know in the comments. More character actor portraits are on the way. Thanks for watching.